everybody, welcome back to my channel. Do I look like a who did it, man? I feel like I haven't vlogged in a long time. I did friend mail and dollar and shop with me and hauls, whatever I was doing, I don't even know. But I wanted to come on here and just to let you guys know, if you've been over to the main channel, or you will see a couple of days in the main channel, that I was gifted some beautiful items. I have asked people who reach out to me and said they would love to send me some stuff that if I know that they want to send me craft stuff, I implore them to possibly donate someplace local. There's a few reasons. My heart always speaks to me. If you guys don't know, I've spent 15 years of my life working with adults with developmental disabilities in various programs that are funded by private donations and the state, so they don't always have the money to do the extras for the individuals. The individuals don't always get to do the crafts that they want, and some of them, I have to tell you, are very, very talented. No matter what their ability level. I knew some people who were completely nonverbal who did beautiful latch hook rugs, and crocheting, and then I knew some people who were so intelligent who did more intricate, like embroidery, just any kind of crafts they'd love. And not all of them, obviously, but and then supplies, of course, are very limited. They themselves are also usually on Social Security disability, which also then comes with their own financial limitations where they can't afford the extras either. So I implore that you reach out to your local organization that has programs for adults with developmental disabilities and donate to them. I've never, in all my experience, known any program like that would turn down items, other than the fact that if they have people with severely sensitive allergies, but even then I'm sure they can direct you to somebody who could use the items. Local churches, boys and girls clubs, aftercare programs, anything like that where you know that people have limited means and that could really use the help. Not only because that speaks to my heart, but in addition, it costs money to send this stuff to me. So I don't want you to have to buy the stuff that you already aren't going to use and then lay out extra money to send it to me. The third thing is, I only have a I don't know, this room is probably only like 12 by 10 maybe, craft room, and it's already overwhelming. I went through the first large box that I was gifted, and I really pulled out everything that I had room for, that I knew that I would use, not just the things that I loved and then wanted to keep because that was the whole box, but I knew that there were things in there that I was not going to have the opportunity to use, and I wanted to make sure it was a blessing to someone else. So my good friend Carla, she lives in a facility of people who are on disability. Her husband Lee actually is the need to be there, so she is sort of like the floor president, if you could have one. I guess I associate it to she's the RA of her floor, but it's not college. So, but she's basically she does gathers all the she does all the gatherings for the floor. She coordinates all of the things. So I gifted it to her. I knew that they would find some need for it. Some of them are actually Christmas decor items, which I know that she loves to decorate for the different holidays too, which was really a bonus. And then I was able to gift her stuff to make an Easter wreath, and so on and so on. So that all being said, I so thank each and every one of you who thinks of me. I really do. It's a blessing just to have people think of you. It is a blessing to have people to use their resources to extend the warmth to you. I love it more than anything. I just can, if I allow myself to become sort of a pack rat with it, I trying not to, because then I feel like this little space gets overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed in this space, and then my creative juices really can't flow. So as it is right now, the 2 unboxings, even though I got one box earlier in the week, I was in St. Louis. I got one yesterday. I unboxed them both within a few days of each other. So I actually have to go through and put all the stuff away. But, and I have to fix, like, this picture came broken, but I love it, so I pulled out the frame that we're going to use for it. And then I have to put some stuff away. But I wanted to get on here and share just my day with you and how things are going, and grab a little coffee and you know, just to catch up kind of thing. If you watch the Dollar Tree, I think it was my last Dollar Tree haul from St. Louis, I mentioned that we're having trivia night and we made gift baskets. I'll be able to show you that Saturday. I'll take pictures of each of the gift baskets completed, and then I can talk you through what I put in each basket. Aunt Sue just wanted me to, like, almost make it as like a surprise kind of thing, so that's why we didn't share that yet. So I received 2 financial gifts in my PayPal Me account, which I messaged the thank you, but I wanted to reach out to you. I don't want to call names or whatever, so those of you who were able to donate to my PayPal account, I really do appreciate it. I don't even think I can tell you right away or get you to understand how that what, like, I was in dire needs that day, and I know that it was so I could get extras, but sometimes, like, I guess the example is Jim was supposed to get 2 weeks vacation, is what they told him last year at his 1-year anniversary, but we know we used one when we went to Ohio in the fall. But we thought he had 1 more week. So we thought when we planned the trip to go for the baby's birthday that he would be getting paid for that. And it turns out that he didn't. So the paycheck that he received almost 2 weeks ago, so he gets paid tomorrow. Well, he gets paid when you see this. This is payday. So he gets paid tomorrow. And so 2 weeks ago when he got paid, his paycheck was like half. And I kind of budgeted for maybe like less $100, but I didn't budget for half. So that was a little, like, it took all the extras out. You know, we have food, thank God. Everything I have is a blessing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sound ingrateful or complain or anything. But I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. Of course, then he works very, very hard, and I don't want him to not be able to take time off, but it's very hard, as you guys know, to take time off when you won't get paid. I just shared a meme with my friend Lisa. That was my friend Ricky had posted, that it was a person. They looked like they were going, like, they almost looked like they were dressed in a costume as like a zombie or a ghost, and the meme was, when you're too sick, when you're dead and you can't call out to work because you can't afford it. It's sort of like that, and it was funny, but it's sort of sad at the same time, because, you know, when someone gets sick, not only do you have to worry about the medical expenses, because even if you have insurance or Medicaid or Medicare plus a supplemental insurance, you still may most likely have an out-of-pocket expense. So not only you have to consider that, you know, don't get sick because you might have an out-of-pocket expense. But then when you're working paycheck, not paycheck to paycheck even, but when you're working without paid time off, that's also something to consider. So not only does it cost you money, but you also don't make money. So it's sort of like a double whammy almost, if we could say. So I know a lot of you guys know this because from talking to you in the chat, a lot of you are on limited incomes, and a lot of you are on disability insurance. I'm not. People have asked me why I'm not, and I kind of explained it this way. I can do this right now. And though times are hard, I do feel like I can do this right now. I know that if I was on disability, I wouldn't be able to make a certain amount of money. So if the channel actually took off, I'd probably have to stop it anyway, or took off. If it keeps growing the way it has been, that's what I mean to say. then I will be probably making too much money for it to be on disability. But that being said, I know that if I pushed myself in a job, that I could do something more physically demanding. I just know that I would really not have, and I've mentioned this before, anything left for the rest of my life. What I mean is, and I don't mean the rest of my life like till I'm 90, I mean the rest of my living. So we've talked about this before. I talk about it as like 10,000 steps, but I think there's something called the spoon theory. I'm not really sure where that came up from either. But it's sort of the same thing. So I kind of always said that I feel like I have 10,000 steps in the day. And if I know I have to cook dinner and it's a big meal that required me to stand at the stove, I'm not going to pick that day to go shopping or do laundry, because I know I'm probably going to use most of my 10,000 steps cooking dinner. And by steps, it's just energy. It's like if I had a battery, you know, I know that cooking dinner is going to drain my battery for the day, and I won't really have battery left to do other stuff. Well, that's the same thing if I had a job at, say, Walmart. I could work on my feet for 8 hours a day. Obviously, Walmart, you get a break and you get to sit down for a little while, depending also on what job you have, and may be able to lean or whatever. But that being said, hold on a second. There's something popped up and I can't see you. Hi. I can't see me, but really that's about me seeing you. So depending on how much energy, like, so if I did work at Walmart and I worked like a 6-hour shift, then I won't have any energy to come home and cook dinner for my family, or never mind clean my house or do anything enjoyable that I want to do. So I picked YouTube as a potential source for income, which ended up being a source for income, which is fantastic, because I could work not at my pace, but I could do the things that require limited mobility. So when I craft, I do have to have some energy, obviously, to buy the items, to go up and get the items and return them to the table. But for the most part, it's a sit-down job. Even editing and uploading is very time-consuming, but it's also a sit-down job. So though it is time-consuming, it's not a very physically laborious job, which is why I picked it. So this way I still have the energy to cook for my family, keep my home clean the best that I can. Jim and I split the laundry duty. I think I mentioned this in a vlog before once. I say that, but technically I separate, he washes, he puts it in the dryer, and then I fold, and then together we put it away. Mostly he puts it away though, because when I fold it in the room, it's usually piled up all over me. So I give him like here, 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 here. So I organize it for him to put it away. How's that? So, but he's pretty much done the laundry since I think when we first got married. The first year we were together, I did the laundry. He was working more then, and was not familiar with like my house and the setup and stuff. But after the first year of marriage, he had a job that he only had a part-time job. And not only, but his job was it was less time. It wasn't 40 hours. So he had more time at home. That's really what it was about. Actually, funny enough, as much as I love doing the laundry, when I first, I'm going to do this while I'm talking, as I realized I should have been this whole time. As much as I love doing the laundry, before I was married, or before I met Jim, I actually had like 30 pairs of underwear. I know that sounds excessive, but I only made the time to do my laundry once a month. So what I did was I had 30 bottoms. I mean, it depends on, I really had like around 25 bottoms, because I knew that I was going to spend at least like every Sunday in my pajamas or in church clothes, like depending on if I was going to church that week. But I really was, when I taught religious education, I went to church more. When I taught catechism, I went to church more than I did after, because it was sort of not a requirement, but the kids, you know, I wanted to make sure the kids were there and the kids were going to church. Okay. I'm just going to do this carefully, so if you don't mind. I'm just replacing the glass in this broken thing that I was gifted. And I'm doing it very carefully, so I don't want to wreck the picture. I don't want to scratch the picture on the broken glass. And I also don't want to cut myself. More importantly, I don't want to cut myself. So I have a old cat litter bag from a project last week. And it just so happens that when Jimmy took the garbage out of the office, he didn't take the cat litter bag. I had to snap it because it was too wide for the bag. All right, I'm just going to shake any little fragmenties in the garbage. I wonder if this would actually be nice without glass, but I think I'm going to... What I have is this picture frame. We're going to use this in a tray. I think I have a picture of it already, but... I'm going to use the frame and the base for a tray, but I'm not going to use the glass, so I can use the glass in this picture frame. I hope it fits. Not all 8x10s fit other 8x10s. I don't know if you guys know that. Depends on the glass, the frame, and then if it comes with matting and that kind of stuff. So, anyhow, I digress. What was I talking about? Oh, going to church. So I actually had like 15 bottoms. Now I didn't have 15 pairs of pants because I wore skirts and dresses to work, depending on which office situation I worked at. Because when I worked at AHRC, I obviously didn't start as a manager. I was direct support staff when I first started, and that really required you to wear clothes that are comfortable. The houses that I worked at were very hands-on. The individuals had very limited capabilities of self-care, so I spent a lot of time in the shower, showering people. And you really don't want to wear your Sunday bests while you're showering somebody, if you know what I'm saying, because you can get kind of wet and messy. Oh, see, that glass does not fit inside this frame. So I will show you there. See how big it is compared to that frame? All right. Well, I will keep my eyes open for another 8x10. I will put this glass back in the meantime. This one, it must be bigger than 8x10 because it has a mat that I'm sure is 8x10. Okay. So, when I was, when I worked at the day program, I did my laundry a little, not day program, sorry. When I worked at the group homes with people with limited capabilities, I did my wash a little bit more often because clothes got wet and they got soiled and stuff. But when I started working at the day program, I was before I worked the day program, I was an assistant house manager. And when you're in a house with people who had higher self-care needs, so I was able to dress a little bit better. I mean, I might have gotten wet, like monitoring or teaching somebody how to clean the sink or whatever, but I wasn't as wet as I was when I showered somebody. Okay. I'm going to put this back in with no glass for now. Sorry. So all of that really made a difference, how I cared for my laundry and that kind of stuff. When I started working as an assistant manager, not only was I not doing direct care as much because the individuals didn't require it, but I also had meetings and had to be more office ready from time to time. So I had to be a little bit more presentable from time to time. Actually, that looks really pretty without glass. I'm just saying. I wish it was just protected though, because this beautiful lace trim really does shine. Well, you can see that it's like three-dimensional. You know what I mean? It looks tactile. This is one of those vlogs where it starts out being one thing and ends up being something different, doesn't it? Cheers. Anyhow. Look, I was gifted embroidery hoops. I actually had embroidery hoops in every size, but I have since used the big ones for projects, like really before there was even a fashionable thin modern spring wreath or whatever. We used to stretch lace on here and kind of make faux dream catchers or whatever, bohemian art, wall art or whatever. Ooh, that fell down. So anyhow, where was I? Where was I? All over the place? Excited. I got Waverly chalk paint. Actually, I'm excited I got a lot of paint, which I kind of really needed. I have a bunch in the box, but first of all, paint is one of those things, once you use them, don't come back. And the second thing is, they're old, so a lot of them are old and they separate. And I've told you this before because I've actually made stains with them. You know, like when I take the old paint that's almost empty, you just add water to it, shake it up, and it actually becomes almost like a wood stain whitewash thing. But anyhow, so between the time where I was working with the more capable individuals in their group home setting, which was, I think, 1998. Yeah, I think I started there in 98, October. I feel like it was, maybe it wasn't quite October. It was a little earlier than that. Up until I met Jim, which was just a year later. I had like 30 outfits where I only did my laundry like once a month. I worked 5 days a week. I had off on Sunday and Monday, which was fantastic actually. Nope, I didn't. I had off on Sunday and Tuesday. Because Tuesday I taught religious education, so I needed to have off on Tuesday. And then one of the other girls, Lori, worked on Sunday. So I had off on Sunday and Tuesday, which wasn't terrible actually, to be honest with you. But Sunday was usually, like I said, church or rest, and then Tuesday I had religion, so I sometimes did my laundry in the morning, and then had taught catechism in the afternoon, and yeah, and I had done my laundry like once a month. I was able to do my laundry once a month. Let's put it that way. Of course, there were times where I was like, oh, I really want to clean my room, so I would do my laundry, and it was only 2 loads of laundry, not 4. But that was the exception, not the rule. Mostly I would just leave it, because not being lazy, just a matter of like how I want to spend my time off. My job was in the evenings, so I kind of slept in, because I worked till 11 o'clock at night, and then I sort of had to drive home and then unwind. So I didn't always have like bright, you know, I was not a morning person. I don't know that I really am now. I have more energy in the morning now than I used to when I was younger, but I think that I sleep when I'm tired now. The other thing with not having a job outside of the community is if I don't feel good, I know if I don't work, I won't get paid, but if I don't feel good, I can choose not to work. I won't get paid as much, but I know that the videos that I already have, the content I already have on my channel will continue to earn revenue, even if it's not as much. So like, for example, in September, I was off from the beginning of August until the middle of September. I took off 7 weeks to watch the baby, and I had a few videos in there from here and there, but for most part, I was off really. And I did earn income on my previous videos, but it wasn't as much, obviously. It was less than half. It was like about a quarter, but still it was something. And to know that that's an option for the future, that I will be able to earn something, is also good to know. It really makes me feel like, okay, a little bit better on my choice of, not that I ever felt bad about my choice of working for YouTube. Not for YouTube, at YouTube, with YouTube. Near YouTube, on YouTube, on YouTube. So I didn't get much cleaned. I got a few things put away. And I got that picture, realized I couldn't fix that picture. So I will continue to... I will continue to clean up. Then I'll get some DIY started because I had some things in my brain to do today. It is 20 minutes to 5 here in the Central Time Zone on a Tuesday. And I hope you are all very well. And I hope this video finds you in good spirits. And if it doesn't, hopefully that makes you have good spirits. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say, as always, take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye!